Okay, guys, so we got two chapters of Fairy Tail this week, and I'll be honest with you. I'm still trying to process what the fuck happened in these two chapters. Now, I don't mean that in any bad way whatsoever. These chapters were pretty lit, they were hyped. I'm excited for what happens next week. They got my blood boiling, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. But we got so much story progression in these two chapters, and we got to a point where I'm basically like, I don't know where Hero's going with this. I don't know how Hero is gonna write his way out of this. Because if you haven't read these two chapters, full spoiler alert, if you haven't read chapters 532 and 533, Zeref, if I had to sum it up in just one sentence, it would be that Zeref has won. Zeref has basically just won the entire war. Because in these two chapters alone, he has managed to take down Mavis, get Fairy Heart, and basically kill Natsu. In these two chapters alone, and there's literally no one that can beat him. Because now that he has Fairy Heart, he has the ultimate magic. And not to mention the fact that no one else is in the guild right now. The guild is literally abandoned from everyone else because the main cast, Gray, Wendy, Lucy, Urza, and Happy, they're all spread out different places right now. Gray, Lucy, and Happy are all reading the Book of End, while Wendy and Urza are off trying to deal with Agnologia. The rest of the Fairy Tail Guild are literally like 100 meters away, just like literally right outside of Fairy Tail, just looking at it because Mavis told him not to go near it because she has a plan and she doesn't want them getting involved in it. So literally there's literally not even a possibility of any one of these people stopping Zeref at this point. He literally has everything he needs to enact his plan of going to the time lapse, going back 400 years still before he got turned into an immortal, and just living out his life and defeating Actologia from his own plan. There's literally nothing stopping him. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he could even go now and defeat Agnologia. Because we see in chapter 533 when Natsu destroys him, he can just, even if his body is completely destroyed, he can just reconstitute himself out of thin air. So yeah, it's pretty much safe to say that Fairy Tail's kind of fucked. There's really nothing they can do at this point. Now, this is all because Mavis fucked up. In chapter 532, Natsu's winding up that attack he was going to use against Zeref when they fought back in the beginning of this war. Back in the beginning of this arc when Natsu and Zeref were fighting and that one last big punch that Natsu was going to throw at Zeref that was going to kill him. Natsu was getting ready to do that again. He had all his magical power. He has Dragon Force. He had this whole boost of power and he was ready to take out Zeref with this one big attack. And Mavis jumps in the way and says, "Hey, let me talk to Zeref real quick. Let me see if I can convince him not to do anything." And of course, Zeref just uses this opportunity to tell her, he captures her, tells her what his plan is, and then he absorbs Fairy Heart, knocking Mavis out. And then in the next chapter, Natsu uses that attack on him. He destroys Zeref's entire body, and then he reconstitutes himself. So yeah, Mavis fucked up, because potentially Natsu probably could just ended things right there. He could potentially have defeated Zeref right then and there if Mavis didn't get in the way. So yeah, that's what happens on that end. Basically, Zeref has pretty much secured his victory. But back with Blue Pegasus, Acnologia, and all them, they're still trying to, avoid Acnologia. They're basically just trying to survive at this point. Blue Pegasus, Wendy and Urza and Jalal and all them are basically just trying to survive. While Anna figures out a way to basically reopen the time lapse. She basically says, "Hey, I just need one moment. Just give me one moment, buy me some time to reopen the time lapse, because only Celestial Mage can do it and I'm the only one here." So basically fucking Jalal, of all people, death flags all over the place for him, because he basically says, "Hey, you need a second? Alright, I got you. I will distract Agnologia long enough for you to open up the time lapse." Which, if he actually does go through with this is basically just his death. Which, I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to really care that much. I like Jalal, I really do, but I'd rather he died than Urza or Wendy. Although, just based off of who Urza is, based off who her character is, I could see her knocking out Jalal or, trying to push him out of the way while she goes off and distracts Agnologia herself. I don't want this. I really don't want this, because Urza has done enough. She's been through too much. Like, it's to the point where her character should not even be able to move at this point. But I can tell that's where Hero will probably go with this. We got to check in with Gray, Lucy, and Happy for a second, and we just see that they got knocked out basically when Zeref activated Fairy Heart. He unlocked like a giant shockwave that went through all Magnolia, and it kind of just like knocked the three of them off balance. They get back up. They're like, "Alright, I recognized something in the book that basically Lucy said that she recognized some text in the book that were like sprawled out last chapter, and said that, alright, I recognize that there's a bonding spell that's tying this book to Natsu. That's why if the book dies, he dies as well. I'm going to find where that is in this book and rewrite it so that Natsu's no longer tied to it." Now, this is how I think that this is something I think Hiro put in here as a way to back herself out of the corner. I think what Lucy's going to do is she's going to untie Natsu from the book and basically tie Zeref to it. Basically bond the book to Zeref. That way, if they destroy the book, Zeref will die. Because let's be honest, at this point, there's literally nothing these guys can do to beat him. Because I mean, if Natsu couldn't destroy him, Natsu, the hero of the story, the most powerful character in this story, if he couldn't beat Zeref, there's literally nothing anyone else can do. But yeah, that's pretty much all that happened in this chapter, or these two chapters. Now, I'm still trying to process all the information and think of a way that Hiro can basically write it so the good guys can come out on top. But as of right now, everything's coming out Zeref. Everything is coming out to the point where Zeref will win. Because, like I said, it's to the point where I think Zeref might be stronger than Acnologia. They say in this chapter that Zeref can beat Acnologia. That's why he needs to go back 400 years to where Acnologia is still weaker and him and Natsu work together. His plan is for him and Natsu to work together in the past in order to defeat Acnologia. I think it's to the point where he can already beat him. So, if he can beat Acnologia, the character that no one in this manga has been able to beat, there's no winning this. I can't think of a possibility of anyone coming out on top besides Zeref. So, when I can think of a possibility for the good guys to win, I'll make a separate video thinking about basically explaining my theory. But yeah, it's pretty much it that happened in the chapter. Nothing else important happened in these two chapters. So I'm excited to see what happens next week. But that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, drop me a like and subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Comment down below with your thoughts, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.